this might be a bit of a hot take, but this has always kind of been like a little bit of my philosophy on life is like, I personally cannot stand it when someone says, "Oh, you're perfect. You're perfect the way you are."
Mm-hmm.
I hate it when people say
Mm-hmm.
that because it's like, no, you are imperfect. But
Yes.
there's also nothing wrong with being imperfect. Like, yes, thank you. Like,
Let's go. Let's
like
own it.
you can take your weaknesses
Yes.
and you can own them, and then you can hold yourself accountable. You can learn and grow from them. Like I'm not saying
Yes.
like you have like, yes,
Yes.
love yourself,
Yes.
accept
Yes.
yourself,
Yes.
don't
Yes.
like severely love yourself to the
Yeah.
point where like, oh, I'm the greatest thing that's ever happened. No, but like, love yourself for who you are, and you should always want to improve upon yourself, but
Yes.
always accept that you're not perfect,
Exactly.
you know? And
Exactly.
for some reason, that's a hot take nowadays. I don't know
Yeah,
why.
to me, bring it back to for me, it's like tennis, self-correct. If my backhand's bringing me weakness, let me look at myself in the mirror, break down my technique, and
Yeah.
correct it.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. But
Mm-hmm.
we've in a society shamed our imperfections. We're
Mm-hmm.
imperfect.
Yeah. And I
I am
think,
imperfect.
yeah, and I think that allows us to kind of sit in our own self-pity
Yeah,
and sit around and feel sorry for
yeah, it's like
ourselves.
a victim.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and
Exactly.
then we
It's
try
yeah.
to say, no, I'm not imperfect. I didn't do that,
Yeah.
and we try to deny ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And the truth of what we're doing
Mm-hmm.
and the harm that we're causing because we're not willing to change.
Or sit down and have conversations with people.
Yeah.
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 Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
there was something else you said right before that. I forgot what we were talking about. It'll come if it's meant to
If
be.
it's meant to be,
It's
well,
meant
yeah,
to
we'll
be.
we'll we'll
Yeah.
run it back.
Yeah, we'll run it. Yeah.
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 So still sticking with the spiritual side of things, like when was that moment of like, because I remember whenever I like, I don't know, it would have been maybe about a year and a half, 2 years ago now, where I had a moment of surrender, just rededication to God in my life,
Mhm.
because I had always believed,
Mhm.
but it was like a I get it now type of
Mhm.
moment for me.
Mhm.
And that was, gosh, roughly about maybe 2 years ago, maybe a year and a half. Um, and I remember shortly after, I had this like little seed, I guess I would call it, of doubt, of like, maybe is this just me kind of understanding like life,
Mhm.
or am I understanding God? Was there maybe a little bit for you? I'm curious to know if like there was a little bit of you that was like, well, maybe it isn't God, maybe it's just me. Or were you
Mm.
like 100% like, no, like this
Mm.
had to be otherworldly, this had to be spiritual, this isn't just me?
I think right now I view everything as well.
Because the
Ha.
same thing happened to me whenever I was getting baptized. I got
Yeah.
baptized in Tennessee, and I remember I told the dude, yeah, like I'm ready to go. Let's get me baptized.
Yeah.
And I remember as they were getting everything ready, I went to go get like a spare change of clothes and a towel and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I remember as I was doing it, I just kept hearing a voice in my head saying,
Yeah.
"You don't want to do this.
Yeah.
You don't want to do this."
Yeah.
And then I just remember saying, "God, send the enemy away." Like I knew it was the
Yeah.
enemy, and then the voice went away.
Yeah.
So that's why I bring
Yeah.
it up, because I didn't know if like you had any sort of seeds of doubt like that at all.
Um well, recently. So I thought I had it all like I'm like I try like the last 2 years I've
Mm-hmm.
really dived into the spiritual side of things. So I went inward, I sat with myself, and it's almost like I built a relationship. I don't have a history of anything with anything of like church and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And when we lived in Nashville, Tennessee, we went to a church.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going through a rough time, and it helped me, and the music helped me.
Was that
And
your first time in church, or
I think when I was a kid, I went a few times, but
okay?
yeah, that was the first time. It was very welcoming church.
Did you
And,
feel like kind of anxious or naked whenever you
um,
walked in there a
a
little bit?
little
Or
bit,
a little bit? Okay.
just because like unfamiliar, I don't know what to expect,
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and then they start playing the songs, and you get chills down your body,
Oh
and
yeah. I love
I
worship.
mean, yeah, and sometimes it's like, why do I want to cry right now? Is anyone else crying? Like, you know what I mean?
So you're
It's
like
like,
looking around. Okay, he's crying.
yeah,
Okay, I
yeah,
can
we're good,
cry.
we're
Yeah.
good. Where's the tissue?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not alone. um, so that was like my really first time, but still, and then we moved, and we never went to church here or anything.
Mm-hmm.
But then I had some stuff happen in my life, and again, just in severe emotional like just pain and like I'm not okay and no one knows I'm not okay.
Mm,
No one knows when I'm not okay.
mm.
No one ever knows.
Yeah,
That's how it is for most people.
yeah.
And that's why I write songs about it. And that's also why I speak and show this kind of middle part because I speak and do videos about it. You know, like
Mm,
I'm gonna show the in between of the liminal space of self-reliance to really the almost like this before you're gonna go through a rebirth, you're kind of like in the womb and you're like growing. You know what I mean? And it's
100%.
like the butterfly. Talk about a butterfly, or even I just learned a dragonfly lives in a water, lives in the water, and just like a butterfly, eventually it comes out and then it turns into a dragonfly that can fly. Just like a butterfly, like is in. It's just really cool.
That I didn't know
I
that.
didn't know
Yeah,
that.
I
Like I
didn't know.
saw a video. I'm
That's
like, this is
awesome.
this it's
I'm
a
gonna look that
butterfly,
up later
dude.
and be
Yeah, it's like a water butterfly.
that was never on Nat Geo when I was a kid.
Yeah. Well, now you know. But I feel like I'm in that space kind of right now towards the end of it.
Mhm,
Um, but recently I've been also going through just a rough time in my life.
mhm,
And I thought before this time, this rough time, like I was like alive. I was alive and I was writing and I'm like I like okay, my relationship's 100%. You know what I
mhm,
mean? It's 100%. I have full faith and the path is pathless and I trust the next step is laid out because I'm being led. I get lost in time when I'm doing this because I'm immersed with where I'm at because I'm with presence. Like I'm like writing all these songs, I'm doing videos, I'm speaking about
mhm.
everything. And even on my bad days, I show myself too because I want to normalize what being human is. Pain is part of,
Being raw.
yeah.
Mhm,
Let's not like hide it anymore. Okay.
mhm,
Let's hold each other. And then something happened. And I've been struggling
mhm,
and I was pissed off.
mhm.
I was like, I remember looking at I might sound crazy right now. I might have to cut this out, but cut that part out. But this is real, you know? Um, I remember looking at myself in the mirror and I'm like, I've done the work. Like I've I've let you break me pretty much. Like I've cried. I've let myself feel everything. Like I've done everything I thought I was supposed to do.
Mhm,
And why is this happening again? Why do I have to deal with this? I'm not going to say what it is, but it's just like, why? And I'm like, you know what? I looked at myself in the mirror and I was talking to God, you know? And I'm like, this is on you. This isn't on me anymore. I'm done.
mhm.
I'm not going to figure this out. I'm not going to figure it out. And I just like put my hands up. I was angry because I'm like, why do I have to go through this? Right. Like
Yeah.
human Allie's pissed. I'm
Yeah,
mad.
yeah,
I just want to be
yeah,
happy.
yeah.
Like I was in like
Been there.
inflated. I'm like, why?
Yeah. Shouting
Well,
matches sometimes you really do, like, just have to punch it out
yeah.
sometimes.
And in that moment, I just will never forget the look in my eyes when I'm looking at myself in the mirror, my eyes. And I'm like, and I remember it just surrendered. I'm like, you know what? The people who are going to show up for me are going to show up for me.
Mhm,
And whatever's meant for me to do will be laid out for me because I'm taking my hand out of it.
mhm.
Clearly, I'm messing something up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you can't find the solution from the same point the problem came from.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to find it from my head clearly, okay?
Yeah.
So I'm going to kick myself out now, and that's why I angrily said in that moment, I'm nice now, but you know, all right, we move past that. So, but um, I'll just never forget that. I'm like, and ever since then,
Mhm,
I mean, still, I'm going through a really rough time, but it's like things just are falling into place weirdly,
mhm.
and I'm like, what?
It's weird. Like,
What
there's
is
there's a sense
happening?
of there's a sense of peace
Yeah.
about everything.
And then sometimes I want to put my hand back into it and be like,
Mm,
like what's going to happen next? Like,
yeah,
come on.
yeah.
But recently I'm more like, rather than, trying to gain more control by like, okay, I just tell me what's next. Like, I need to know.
Mhm.
Like the limbo state is the worst. But, like, I don't know,
Yeah.
you know? Um,
Yeah.
but then I sit down because I'm in my head and I go in circles. So I'm like, well, I need to be in my body and, like, with my heart and, like, relax, and then I'll write a song,
Mhm.
and then it will reveal some clarity for me.
Mhm.
And then I'm like, "Oh, so I just had to sit with you?"
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know how you pray. Um, how I pray is, um, it's called the Acts method, and it's actually replicated similar to how Jesus in the Sermon on the Mount,
Mhm,
whenever he says, whenever you pray, Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, your kingdom come, the Lord's quote unquote prayer. Um, so it's Acts style or Acts method of praying, I should say. And it's an acronym.
mhm,
So the A is adoration. So you begin your prayer
mhm,
starting off praising God, talking
mhm,
about how amazing he is, talking about how holy he is.
mhm,
C, confessing. You confess your sins. Um, T, thankfulness. Now you go into praying about what you're thankful for. And then S is supplication. I think that's the word.
mm.
I think, yeah, supplication.
Yeah,
Then that's when you take that moment to be like, all right, God, this is what I need.
yeah,
And I pray that way specifically just because it helps me, even if I'm like, as you've been saying, like pissed off and I want to have a shouting match,
yeah.
or if
Like,
I'm like,
"I'm gonna have a word with you."
yeah, exactly. I have to
"Excuse me,
stop.
sir."
Yeah, I have to stop and I have to be like, all right, you created the universe.
Yeah.
I confess I've been the problem.
Okay.
I'm thankful for all the stuff that you have gotten me through, and this is what I need
But
now.
listen, buddy.
Yeah, exactly.
But
But
listen
listen,
here.
this is kind of what I need from you right now.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know how you pray,
Okay,
but
so that's
that's
really cool. So,
mhm,
well, I think so I don't have like a necessarily a method like you just pointed out. I
mhm.
would say the way I go into it is I'll do some deep breathing and it's pretty much
So
okay,
sort of like a meditation.
it's like a meditation
Yeah.
and I breathe and I'm like I surrender to you.
Mhm,
I only want truth. I only want love and I want me out of it. And
mhm,
it relaxes my body
mhm,
and then it's pretty much like this moment of I can feel the presence kind of
mhm.
and then I get in and then I just flow and I actually the way I pray is almost like I sometimes just write and then I'll repeat it
Okay.
if that makes sense.
Yeah,
And then I'm like that's the message.
yeah.
The other way I do it is the exact same way. Um, like I'll be like this, but
Mhm.
more on my knees. Like when I'm having a bad day, but I'll be.
Yeah,
I'm just like this, and
yeah.
I'm like a lot of times I'm like just hold me,
Mhm,
um, be with me, and a lot of times prayer is like asking for just pure presence
mhm,
and being held,
mhm,
and then after that I'll move through and be like please give me clarity from a place of love.
mhm,
I want to see not just through the eyes of me, but through the eyes of them and then the whole story.
mhm,
I want to be, like I want to be guided from truth and know truth, even if it's the truth I don't want to know.
mhm.
Please take me there.
Are you ever afraid to pray?
Um, Sometimes because sometimes I don't want to hear a truth.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like I
You don't wanna
know.
be called out on your crap. Yeah.
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 Yeah. Sometimes I'm like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like sometimes it's like I'm not ready yet.
Yeah. Yeah.